Good evening. Welcome to Southeastern 16's SEC and NCAA baseball reaction. I'm your host, Chris Lee, joined by Graham Doty. We got games in the books. We got games that have just started within the last 30 minutes. We got games coming tonight. It is information overload. I've done my best to keep up with it all and bring the best of all that to you. Graham Doty, you were in the ballpark in Oxford today for a very interesting game. I think this is one of these days, like if you're ESPN stats and information, and this is Major League, you're looking up that thing of have three guys ever all had solo home runs in the same game? Because that's what happened at Ole Miss today.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that could be a first. But what a wild one you saw in Oxford. Hunter Elliott did what Hunter Elliott needed to do to keep the Rebels in better standing in the tournament. We have Alabama season is over. We have Florida's advancing, and Aiden King, I don't know if he threw a complete game or not, but he had thrown 7 full last I checked. And then Kentucky advanced. For once, the bullpen did its job and it didn't blow it. So that's what we've got. We've got some interesting stuff going on across the country too.
Yeah.
TCU has been eliminated. Oregon's been eliminated. Like, those were not things we expected to be talking about at 5:30 Central on Saturday night.
No, I mean, especially the Oregon one to me is a surprise. I mean, we all kind of thought that was one of the easier regionals of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's a top 8 seed going down, and not only going down, but just like 0 for 2.
Yeah.
And then like Ben Hodge right here talking about Bama. Like, to me, that has been the day of the game so far. Southern Miss, Alabama. That was a really, really good game. It felt weird that it was an elimination game.
I think most of the games today were terrific. I mean, Florida was a runaway, but a lot of these were just like Oregon and Cal Poly were just back and forth and back and forth. And, Alabama was that way. And, yeah, there were some really good ball games today.
Did Kansas get eliminated today too?
Kansas got beat by North Dakota State. Can you believe that? So now Arkansas, look, it's baseball. Nothing's ever a cakewalk, and maybe Creighton's a little better than we've given him credit for. But, man, I think that's the team you wanted to see out of that regional if you were Arkansas. And speaking of which, I don't think Vanderbilt's probably excited about seeing Wright State again down the line if it gets there, but East Tennessee State got eliminated in Nashville. Another team that hits a lot of home runs and has a little bit of pitching too. So,
yeah. And to answer your question, Ben Hodge, negative. What's the opposite of hot seat? So 2 years in a row, Alabama goes 0-2 in the regionals as Rob Vaughn on the hot seat.
Oh, there's no way. He is a phenomenal baseball coach. Took over a very difficult position. Hello, Caleb. Yeah, we see Kate Anderson tonight. By the way, this Tallahassee game between Florida State and Mississippi State's off to a hot start. I think there've been 3 home runs already, or just 2.
I saw Florida State hit 1. Did Noah Sullivan just hit 1? It looked
he did off Jamie Arnold. It looked like batting practice off Pico Cone the first inning.
That was a really weird situation with what Justin Parker said. You remember last night we were wondering if Pico's hurt?
Yep.
Just the way that Justin Parker handled all that, and then like all this speculation goes out, and then Pico starts today against Jamie Arnold. That was weird.
Yes, it was. I mean, just anytime you hear the he's going to try to give it a go kind of vibes, that makes you a little nervous. Yes, Kentucky did win, Eric.
But, I mean, like, I don't know. That's somebody that's never been a head coach before. Why bring it up and say it's health and injury related and then not go into it?
I mean, he's a draft prospect. Could be a privacy kind of thing. Protect your kids. That's my guess. I mean, that would – although I guess he's not going to be around to get the benefit of whatever going forward, but I'm thinking that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just been a unique situation for Mississippi State. So
Yeah.
they got a big win tonight against Florida State. So Pico against Jamie Arnold, that's one of the better pitching matchups that we'll see today.
Let's go over some stuff. Let's get into Ole Miss. What did you see from the Rebels today? We talked about it. 6 solo home runs from 3 different guys. Hunter Elliott, I thought was gave them what he needed, which is a long outing. Ole Miss had to have that.
Yeah, they really did. Just because Ole Miss used any valuable arm in the bullpen that Ole Miss could use, they used last night against Murray State. So Hunter Elliott goes 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. His last one was with the bases loaded. So if that's it for him in Swayze Field, like he left to a standing ovation. So really cool moment for him. 115 pitches. Tyler Ray was huge today for Ole Miss. Like, he did not pitch yesterday. Ole Miss needed somebody to step up, and it was him today. So he goes 2 big innings, 23 pitches, 16 strikes. I thought he was really good. And then 2 days in a row that Spencer has now pitched in the last frame for Ole Miss. And that's kind of where things got interesting. Where it got interesting, the Ole Miss defense made a ton of mistakes. Like, in Western Kentucky, they got on the board in the first because the right fielder, Hayden Federico, who's a true freshman, that's not his normal position. He's a middle infielder. He just dropped a can of corn ball in right field, which would have been the third and final out, and Western Kentucky got 2 runs off that. And then Ole Miss had a costly error in the 9th inning to kind of make things interesting as well. So if Ole Miss wants to keep their season alive, their defense has to be much better than what it has been the first 2 games in the regional. How about this? Here's a nugget for Ole Miss. This is the 11th regional that Mike Bianco has hosted. In the previous 10, Ole Miss has either gone 2-0 8 times or 0-2 twice. This is the first time Ole Miss has started a home regional 1-1.
Wow. That is that's unbelievable. Let's see. What have we not hit? We've not hit most games. So yeah, there was that one. By the way, Ole Miss, I was looking this up. Ole Miss has now pitched Elliott, Maddox, Morris, McCausland, Hooks, Dennis, Spencer twice, and Raby. So the best arms that have not thrown are Nichols and Kate Townsend, probably.
So Ole Miss has to win twice tomorrow if they want to keep their season alive. Bianco after the game did say Mason Nichols is available. So I think they're trying to figure out, number one, who they're going to have to play and how they want to handle that. Murray State has so many lefties in that lineup. So I think they're trying to figure out what they want to do there. But I mean, this to me, like I wasn't really I didn't think Ole Miss was really in any trouble at any point. And if any of those home runs weren't solo home runs, this game wouldn't be close, Yeah. But I was impressed. Western Kentucky, they used a lot of arms today. They put those stats on the video board. It felt like everybody for Western Kentucky was like 4-1, 6-1, 5-1 with an ERA of like under 3. So you can see why they certainly won as many games as they did this year.
Yeah, that was statistically, I think, a top 5 pitching staff in the country. And they played a really weak schedule, but I'm looking at lefties they've got. I would think Hooks will be pitching tomorrow. I would think Dennis would pitch tomorrow. Is Ryan Rodriguez on the 27, or is he hurt?
No, he's available.
Okay, well, I would think he'll get some time potentially.
Yeah. But again, it depends on who they're going to face. I don't know how many these Georgia Tech has, but it felt like everybody from Murray State was a lefty.
Yeah. Rylan Zaborowski is homered in Athens to put Georgia up 1-0, top 2, in what I think will be I'll say a run-scoring fest. You've got Curley on the hill for Georgia, so
I'm going to say there's going to be another home run hit in that game between those 2 games.
That's a pretty safe bet. Georgia Tech and Murray State underway in Oxford now, by the way.
There were way more Murray State fans that made the trip. It's not that far from Oxford. It's like 3 hours away. So they brought a decent amount of people. Georgia Tech brought a few, but it'll be interesting to see how many people were at that game tonight.
Did you get a chance to catch Kentucky today? I guess you probably missed that by being in Oxford at the game.
Yeah, I didn't catch most of it, just bits and pieces there. But just a big win for them, especially they dropped that heartbreaker yesterday to West Virginia. So for them to bounce back like they did, just kind of speaks volume of the character, and that's just kind of what they've done all season. They're just a really gritty team.
They finally got some breaks today. They're up 3-0 in, I think, the fourth. And then there was a USC Upstate. Well, I guess they didn't really catch breaks because all the runs scored anyway, except for the guy at the plate. But there was a close play on a would-be grand slam off Nick McKay. And there were no outs at the time. Would have been a grand slam, no outs in the fourth. And they went to replay forever. It was an umpire-initiated replay, and they kept it at a foul ball. But I think nobody really seemed to know. Mm-hmm. And so, again, 3 runs scored anyway, but that would have been 4. And plus you start everything over again. So that was a big moment. But I think Ethan Walker was huge for Kentucky today. They didn't really need to use him as much as they did, but he gave them 62 pitches in scoreless relief. And I think if he's not doing that, Kentucky's probably going home. Upstate can really hit. So beating him 7-3 between McKay and Walker is an accomplishment. Now they'll have to turn all those arms in the bullpen, and we know that's been an issue. And the other issue they got is Tyler Bell didn't start today. First time all year. He fouled a ball off his leg last night and was not available. So Kentucky moves on, and we'll get, either Clemson or West Virginia. By the way, West Virginia up 3-0 in the second on Clemson.
Yeah, boy, if they lose Tyler Bell, that is a significant blow for them.
Yeah. It's going to be tough for them to get out of this anyway, but that doesn't help.
Yeah. Now, I did see West Virginia hit a home run early against Clemson in that game.
Off Aiden Kanak, who's their best guy.
Yeah. So 3-run shot in the first. West Virginia already has 4 hits.
You didn't see Southern Miss Alabama either. That was a classic. That was kind of a home run fest. And Alabama was, I'm not going to say in control, but you feel pretty good about it when you've got Osmer on the hill late in games. He came in to get, I don't remember who out of a jam, but Tucker Stockman had a 2-out double in the bottom of the 8th to score the go-ahead runs, and that was it. Alabama, the bases loaded in the ninth, and I got the feeling that Southern was a lot more comfortable pitching to Justin LeBron than it was to Cade Snell.
Yeah, so Caleb Falk in the chat says he would take Southern Miss's pitcher. He would gladly take him at LSU. Guys, I'm telling this is what Southern Miss is known for. They always have 1 or 2 arms. Remember, was it last year where Southern Miss's Friday night guy transferred to Florida? He was the number 2 at Florida. I think that was last year.
Yeah, that was Hurston Waldrop 2 years ago.
Yeah. And this year for Southern Miss, Middleton, so he won the award for the best college baseball player in the state of Mississippi, and I think he won mid-major pitcher of the year as well. So that's somebody that's going to get drafted.
Yes,
relatively high.
Probably mid-second round at this point.
Yeah,
from what I'm seeing.
So as long as Oz is the head coach at Southern Miss, which I don't see him going anywhere unless something comes open in the SEC, he's going to be at Southern Miss for a while, and that's just what he does. Remember, he was the guy. I'm pretty sure he had an offer on the table to go to LSU to be the pitching coach, right when Jay Johnson was hired, and he decided to stay at Southern Miss.
That's interesting.
Now, part of that is the head coach, the longtime head coach at Southern Miss, retired, and they just said, "Yeah, if you stay, we'll make you the head coach."
Yeah. Who was their head coach? Had been there. He retired a couple of years ago. He'd been there forever.
Yeah, Scott Berry, he was phenomenal.
Yep. Florida beat Fairfield 17-2. I'm checking the final box on that for the line for Aiden King, and that was a much closer game earlier. I mean, Florida didn't break away in that one or even start to till the middle innings. And I wonder if King went the distance today. I know he was close. No, he went 94 pitches, and they brought Felix ONG, in to finish it. So that's a big one for Florida. You just needed to get through with using fewer pitchers, and so I think that helps tremendously now. Because let's see, King threw 94 today, and Onge threw 37 in an inning, and only gave up one run. It doesn't seem possible.
Yeah. The big thing there is King went 8 innings,
Yes.
especially after Liam Peterson, didn't make it out of the second or third,
Yeah.
whatever it was. He didn't go very long at all. So this is exactly what Florida needed. Only used one bullpen arm today. So they got to feel a little bit better going forward the rest of the way in that region.
Oh, I think they're in pretty good shape under the circumstances because Peterson can come back at some point. Clemente hasn't thrown. Barlow hasn't thrown. Barberry hasn't thrown. Coppola hasn't thrown. Jenkins hasn't thrown. And there's a couple other guys there, too, that haven't thrown yet. So I think they've still got the pitching to win it.
The other things, like by the time the final game in that regional ended yesterday, it had to be 1 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. So, that's got to be an impact, too, moving forward.
Yeah. Fairfield had a tough turnaround there.
Yes, they did. I can't imagine. How about I didn't watch any of the game. I didn't see it, but how about Northeastern squeezes past Bethune-Cookman?
Yeah, I watched that one on Squeeze Play, and Bethune-Cookman had the most. There were some stat. They had the most come from behind walk-off wins in the country this year, and the dude that had won more of them than anybody was at the plate with 2 outs, and I think second and third in a 4-3 game, and I think they got a weak ground ball. That's Northeastern's first tournament win since 1974.
Jeez. So have they passed the eye test for you?
I mean, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't been locked in on them that much. I mean, they got clocked by Mississippi State last night, I think. But Bethune-Cookman is not bad. But I would think, Fairfield rolled through the regular season and now got outclassed last night by Mississippi State when State wasn't even throwing one of its 3 starters. And now, you would have thought maybe a better bounce-back game against Bethune-Cookman. Hey, hats off, they won it. Give them that. But I would say not really.
Yeah. Northeastern, not Fairfield. I know it's confusing.
Oh, sorry. Right.
They're both in that.
They both wear red.
Yeah, they both wear red, and they're in the same area.
Let's see, your teams eliminated so far. Here's what we've had around the country. Northeastern eliminated Bethune-Cookman. Oregon State eliminated TCU. Nebraska eliminated Holy Cross. Cal Poly eliminated Oregon. Florida knocked out Fairfield. Irvine knocked out Fresno. Ole Miss knocked out Western Kentucky.
North Dakota State, Kansas.
Yep, eliminated Binghamton. I'm just reading it. Kentucky knocked out South Carolina Upstate. Wake eliminated Miami. Well, that was a wild game, too. I didn't think that one was ever going to end. And Wake is not in good shape pitching-wise. Tennessee is about to roll through Knoxville. Mark my words on that one. And then Kansas and North Dakota State. So I think Kansas, Oregon, and TCU all going 0 for 2. And Alabama, for that matter. Those are some big surprises.
Yeah, especially the Oregon one. Because, again, that was one of the regionals we were all like, that's a pretty easy regional. And then they go 0-2.
Yeah. What do you know? Jay Johnson with another portal ad from a mid-major or a low major.
Jeez. almost at 400 with 22 home runs.
But the ball's getting out left and right.
Well, it's definitely warming up.
For sure.
And that helps. By the way, for Ole Miss, before I forget, Ole Miss now has a single season program record for home runs in a season.
Man, and counting.
With the 6 today.
Let's see if we've got anything else that's gone final or is about to. Here's your in progress. We've got West Virginia up 3-0 on Clemson, top 3. Oh, Duke has just gone ahead of Virginia. I think there's a home run about to hit the – yep, there it is, dead center. Ben Miller, Ivy League transfer. Did he get it over the monster? He got over the batter's eye. You could not get more dead center than he just got.
Yeah, that's their first team ACC pick. He's the first player at Duke in like over 20 years to be back-to-back first team ACC.
When Carson Osmer came in the game today for Alabama, they started talking about the Penn team from 2 years and all the guys on that team. Because White Hensler was on that team. I guess Miller was on that team. Like it was whoever, as they said, whoever was the recruiting coordinator there for Penn was doing work.
Yeah,
gosh,
really
that was crushed.
Think of how many
knew it right away.
Think of how many SEC guys have transferred from Penn to the SEC. It's been a good amount.
Well, that's at least 2 or 3.
And then A&M had I feel like A&M got a handful.
Oh, you know what? A&M had a catcher last year from Penn.
Yeah.
Whose name escapes me. That was the other guy. Let's see. We've got Tennessee up 2-0 on Cincinnati. Bottom 2. Georgia Tech up 3-0 on Murray State. Top 1. Tech is still hitting there.
By the way, it's good news for Mississippi State that Reese is in the starting lineup today.
Well, you know what? The broadcast crew gave the wrong name last night.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Because you sent me that text, Reese is coming out of the game, and I was like, that's not good.
Well, and in my defense, I was sitting there doing work, and I was just listening to the broadcast and not really watching it, and I took their word for it. I don't know how you make that mistake. Because that's a little bit of a difference. But who was it that was – it wasn't Reese, but it was State fans were kind enough to let me know. A couple of them told me on Twitter this morning, and I've forgotten already. It was Sawyer Reeves is who it was.
Reese Reeves, it's confusing.
Shot, by the way, came from the Ivy, but I don't remember which one.
Hold on, I'll pull it up. He also says Mike Elko is a Penn grad, so help with that.
Interesting. Okay, what else have we got? We've got – has anyone else started? Did I miss anything?
Shot is a Columbia transfer.
Columbia. Okay, thank you. I knew it was Ivy. I could not remember which one.
Tress, by the way, I agree with you, man. 8 p.m. Central Time first pitch should be outlawed.
Brutal.
It's brutal. Like, that's what Auburn has tonight.
And I think Louisville's on Eastern Time. So if you're a Louisville fan staying up to watch that one, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We haven't talked about this, but as for sports watching fans, East Coast time is the worst, and it's not close. Not close. I don't know how people do it.
I don't either. Let's see. What's okay. The offense has kind of calmed down in Tallahassee. Marcus Phillips looks like he's getting in a little bit of groove in Knoxville.
By the way, Jamie Arnold has 7 strikeouts already.
Okay.
In 3 innings. LSU also an 8 p.m. Central Time start tonight.
Yeah, let's see what we've got ahead. Is Oklahoma, North Carolina? I thought that had started. Did that get pushed back for weather?
I think they're going at 6:35 Central.
Oh, because why would that be? Oh, because Rhode Island ran over. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Rhode Island's in Baton Rouge. That one's 15-10 Little Rock, by the way.
It's now 17-10 Little Rock with the 2 spot on the top of the 9th.
Okay, why did Oklahoma get pushed back? I thought that was scheduled for 5 Central. That's what I had written down. Could be wrong. Well, anyway,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, if you know in the chat, let us know. If I had to guess, it's got to be Mother Nature.
And that's Kyson Witherspoon's start tonight.
Yeah, Witherspoon, and then UNC's ace.
Yeah, we've got Curley and Kyle Johnson tonight in Durham. Curley's already given up a mammoth home run to Ben Miller. Looks like West Virginia got out of its half of the inning without any runs. Have they still got Clemson shut out? I believe so.
Caleb Falk in the chat talking about LSU's offense last night. Fans complaining about a 7-0 shutout. Like, hey, number one, a win's a win, but also I'm telling you that pitcher for Little Rock's going to get drafted.
Yes. He's had some history. Look, I think after last night, if your team won, just be happy at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have seen some stuff we never saw coming already this tournament. I think game ones are really weird. And I think sometimes at home, it's almost I'm not going to say it's a disadvantage, but it does set up an early interesting dynamic if the road team jumps on you for 2 or 3 early and you've had a good season, you see teams start to press in that spot.
Yeah. And, like, it's kind of unique because, like, let's take SEC teams, right? Everybody but one team is leaving Hoover with a loss. Mm-hmm. So, like, have a great season. Like in LSU's case, you're a top 8 seed. You're going back home, but you're coming off of a loss. And then you're about to play 3 teams that you more than likely haven't played yet this season. So it is a unique situation.
Let's see, the SEC. Let me see if anyone else has started that I've overlooked. Here's what I've got. We've got Georgia Duke going on, 3-1 Duke. Florida State leads Mississippi State 2-1, Tennessee 2-0 over Cincinnati. And then Oklahoma, North Carolina would be the next one to start. Kyson Witherspoon versus, I didn't check to see who UNC was going to start.
It's their ace.
Okay, which would be... Wasn't that like the ACC Pitcher of the Year?
Did he beat Jamie Arnold?
Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
I know he's first team all conference. Florida just wrapped up and went over Fairfield, and then Georgia Tech has already put up a 3 spot over Murray State.
Was it Jason DeCaro or Aiden Howell?
Let me pull it up.
I meant to get that. There's just so much to keep up with right now.
Wes is right.
Who's that?
DeCaro.
Okay. Who is a righty?
So apparently UNC, they pitched their ace against Holy Cross.
Yeah, but they're one of the rare schools that had 3 really pretty durable starters who all put up really good numbers. Like you'll see some teams that have 2 guys that are dudes, and they had 3 that were very, very good. ERAs 217, 342, 374, and innings were 87, 73 and 2/3, 67 and 2/3. That is not something you see very often.
Right.
There might be like one other team in the tournament that's done that. Tennessee has just hit a home run. I think is that Curley? Yeah, that's Dean Curley. So he's got all 3 of their RBIs tonight.
And they're interviewing Tony V right now. Like while he hit the home run.
Let's see. So tonight you got Dallas Baptist throwing James Ellwanger, who is a big draft prospect. I don't know if he's a first rounder, but I think he's like top 5 round kind of guy. Cade Anderson, I've seen now in some people's top 5 in mock drafts. And you got Cody Bowker for Vanderbilt, and I don't know who Louisville's going to throw. They don't have they have some bullpen options, but there's not a starting pitching option that sticks out. And Auburn Stetson, do we know if Dutton's going to start? I would presume he is, but I tried to look that up on Twitter today and did not see.
I'll pull it up real quick. It's tough for these Alabama schools, man. They don't get the media coverage like a lot of these other teams do. So it's hard to find instant information.
I would like to see also who Texas is starting, and then Arkansas is going Zach Root against Creighton tonight. So if you got those matchups in the chat, let us know again.
So Auburn is starting Dutton against Stetson.
Okay. I think you had to unless he's hurt. Who's Stetson going with?
Not Jacob deGrom.
No? How about that? How about him being healthy for a change this year?
Yeah, when he's healthy, that guy's something else. They're saying in the chat, Caleb, Brian Curley, around 70 pitches in 3 innings. That's not good.
No. We said Duke might be one of the teams that you might not want to face in that ballpark because they might be able to outdo might be able to go blow for blow against Georgia. I don't know that's right, but closer than most teams can come.
Yeah. Well, Georgia leads the country in home runs, and Duke has over 100 as a team as well. All right, I'm looking up Stetson.
See, Stetson threw Jonathan Gonzalez last night is hands down their best.
Yeah,
they got 2 stud relievers, one of whom threw 40 pitches last night. Jake Gorlick. I guess it's Hayes or Solamine. Anyway.
Yeah, gotta be. I'm looking. Gonzalez, 6 innings yesterday.
Yep.
Only had 4 Ks. They're saying Mercer for Murray State hit another double. I'm telling you, that guy, weird stance, lefty, but he's a doubles machine. He doesn't have one single home run this year.
Cincinnati just made a tremendous play to get out of it. What are we in the 3rd now? Shortstop made a play deep in the infield and had to bounce a throw to first. That was a tough play. Little Rock up 21-10 on Rhode Island and still hitting in the bottom of the 8th. Is that right?
Rhode Island must be
awful.
Yeah, not good. For Little Rock to put up a 21 spot on you. Yeah, they're still in the top of the 9th. Little Rock has scored 6 in the 9th. They got 2 on and 2 outs.
Well, if you're LSU, you don't probably like that very much because now, let's say you win tonight with Cade Anderson. Dallas Baptist will have a rollover against one of those teams tomorrow, I would think. And then, they've still got the Micah Bucknam kid who was at LSU, who's suddenly a top 5 round type prospect.
So
you'd like if LSU, if you're LSU and you win, you'd like for Dallas Baptist to get pushed tomorrow. And the way that game's shaping up, I don't think that either Little Rock or Rhode Island is going to be in position to do that.
The top two arms for Little Rock out of the bullpen are Blake Van Cleve and Hunter Royal. They both have pitched today. Royal 45 pitches, Van Cleve 32. So
yeah, Murray State with a little something going, 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the first.
They could be a sneaky, dangerous 4 seed just because they're really, really good on defense and they can really hit it.
And Duke's whole pitching staff looks like it's lefties almost.
Florida State has got something cooking. Yeah, Wes, good question. How is Rhode Island a 3 seed? Like, how did that happen?
It was awful. I think that Baton Rouge got the best draw 3 and 4 seeds maybe of anybody in the tournament. But did get Dallas Baptist, a team that can pitch. And with LSU struggling a little bit offensively, I mean, that probably balanced it out. But I think those teams were cookies relative to what other teams got. Anything else? I'm going to get to Nashville here in a minute.
Oh, you're going to the game tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a bit. I'll probably leave early. Because we'll go, I don't know what time we'll go. Maybe 11:30ish. That'll be when most stuff is over. If you're up for it.
Yeah, can make it work.
Oh,
we can make it work.
Let's pay some bills. You guys that have been regulars of the show have seen me drinking out of this. It's going to be load up a little caffeine. Because we're having a late nighter here. These are the coolest tumblers you have ever seen. And you can get them through our partners at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Use promo code SE16 for 10% off your order. These things are amazing. I don't know if you can see. The paint is almost, you can got to feel it come off the aluminum. It's thick. It's like I don't know if it's an enamel paint or what it is, but it is super durable. They make all kinds of tumblers. They got this one I really like too with all the mascots. All of them are very high quality. The paint is not going to come off in the dishwasher. They make them for your favorite team. They got all kinds of looks. It's officially licensed. Top of the market construction, or excuse me, as far as contraction and ice retention. All the printing and that is done in Knoxville. Tons of designs and logos. They got stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, shaker cups. You can name it. This product is unbelievable. It's very reasonably priced for the quality you get. Order one. Get some for Father's Day. That's coming up. I promise you, you're not going to give one of these to anybody who's not going to love them. I mean, I got my samples in the mail last week, and I just was blown away. So hopefully you would be too. I think we should have the promo code somewhere in the notes. So anyway, Graham, parting thoughts.
Really entertaining game between Southern Miss and Alabama. Just a tough break for Bama to go 0-2 for the second year in a row. Don't think they have anything really to worry about moving forward with their future. As long as Rob Ballin is there, they're going to be good. But other than that, like Ole Miss needed a win, Florida needed a win. They took care of business. And then we got, I think the games tonight are kind of the ones I'm fascinated to watch with North Carolina, Oklahoma, and then what does Auburn look like against Stetson? Stetson is on fire right now, and then the Texas UTSA matchup as well. Those will be a lot of fun ones to watch, and then just Oregon, like to be a top 8 seed and to go 0-2. like just a unfortunate ending to the season for the Ducks, who went to back-to-back super regionals. Not anymore.
Yeah. All right, can't wait to see all these tonight. Cincinnati got a little traffic against Marcus Phillips now. Got a guy on first, stole second. So that's going to get going now. Yeah, going to try to keep my eye on all these. And we'll be back around 11:30 Central tonight to wrap up everything. Eric, God bless you too, my man. You're always here. One of our better ones. We got some good LSU fans here. He and Caleb. Love those guys. All right, you guys have a safe night. Hope your team wins. For Graham Doty, I'm Chris Lee. You've been watching our baseball content here at Southeastern 16.